big up, guys. It's your boy Mark and MUFC fan, guys. What's good? Herzlichen Willkommen and guten Abend to all to alles am deutschen Mannschaft for Manchester United fans. Big up to all of you guys coming in. It's your resident Trinidadian fan of Manchester United living in Deutschland. Your boy Marken is here with the latest transfer updates. A little bit of a nugget, guys, because it might be looking bleak. Arsenal just confirmed the signing of Victor Gyokeres. Here we go. Grok 9 in the building. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things, guys. You know, we lost out. We weren't able to secure the signing, but he's not the only tool in the shed. He might be the sharpest on show last season, but next season brings a new. And like I say, you know, Benjamin Sesko was a player that we all talked about last season. I was telling you guys we need to sign that guy. It didn't come to pass. But it seems, with reports coming in from the Athletic, that Man United is ready to spend big on two more top signings. The interesting situation is, guys, those two top signings could very well be two interesting players. A link to Benjamin Sesko after we went through links to Ollie Watkins, Benjamin Gyokeres. We went through links to even Etekite. We went through other links as well. Mateta, even linked to other strikers that no one thinks that we might be signing. But right now, guys, the interesting thing is Javi Guerra from Valencia. Young, 22 years old, defensive midfielder, plays for Spain. Interesting, very talented, can go forward with the ball, very good on the ball as well, can play a pass from deep, very combative, very skillful. And Amorim has a fancy to the player. Reports coming in from Spain and all their major outlets right now surrounding Valencia is that Man United are prepared to seal a deal for Javi Guerra by spending 25 million euros on the player right now to Valencia, and this deal could happen in the next few days. As we know, Manchester United does and has stated that they will go in for a striker and a midfielder. And I'm telling you guys that I am betting my money that the midfielder is Javi Guerra. We have been looking at this youngster, we have been following for the last 18 months, and it is a situation where Manchester United is looking to make the deal. The price is also right. 25 million euros is not that bad. Oh, 14 is the number. You know what I mean? I used to wear that number, and a big Trinidad striker wore that number as well, Stern John. If you know the name, trust me, you know he was a bagsman as well. You know, so that's just why 14. Big up. You know what I mean? Big up to Lou and France. Hope you guys are well. Big up to Biku Talks. Long time no see. Rashford to Barca. Yeah, Trent is gonna die, bro. He's gonna die. Rasta Suck says the midfield is a problem. Is that because of the preseason game? I wouldn't stress too much about the preseason game, guys. It's just preseason. You know what I mean? It's not one of those situations. It's not something to be stressed out about right now. Of course, the midfield is a problem. Javi Guerra would come in and improve that midfield. He's a very interesting DM. You know, a little bit offers a little bit more on the ball than Ugarte, but nevertheless a similar style. I think he's a better, younger version of Zubamendi. That's just me. People could say I'm crazy, but that's just what I see in that youngster. Big up to Frankie in the building, as well as my brother GB. Big up to GB in the building. Long time no see, homie. Big up to Chorus as well. Hope you're well, guys. The interesting thing now, guys, don't stress too much. Yeah, we have been linked to a lot of different strikers. Ollie Watkins is going to be coming 70 million pounds. And I can tell you that's a lot more than Manchester United is ready to pay right now. Because right now, it's reported that we might just be able to sneak in a 55 million pound deal for Benjamin Sesko plus 10 million in add-ons. Now, this will take our offer to Leipzig somewhere in the region of 75 million euros plus 10. And I think Leipzig will definitely do this deal, guys. And Christopher Vell right now is in Germany having talks with the camp, the players' camp, and Leipzig to try to work out a situation that will possibly see this deal come to fruition very, very soon. Of course, lots of the top strikers have been sold, like Victor Gyokeres, but I won't even compare Etikite to the likes of Benjamin Sesko, who had a better season than Etikite this season, last season, the season before, and the season before that. Now, congratulations to Liverpool in spending £95 million on Etikite. But I would tell you, Liverpool fans, last 2 seasons, the 3 years before last year, this guy only scored 4 goals in all comps, and he was playing for PSG. So I'm not saying that he's not gonna bang, but let's hope he doesn't regress or resort to default, because default means he scores no goals. You know what I mean? But guys, think about the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jesse Lingard was where 14, but yeah, I didn't think of Jesse Lingard, guys. Trust me. He was a good player though. I like the guy, but nah, didn't think of Jesse Lingard with the number 14, to be honest. I'm a Trini, so when you see 14, think Stern John, guys. Think Stern John. He's a Coventry legend. You know what I mean? Trust me. If you know about Stern John, you know what I'm talking about. Big up to Box in the building. Guys, it's going to be interesting in the next couple of days. Man United are seemingly gearing up to get 2 quick deals done. Bang, bang. It doesn't seem like we're going to spend much time to get these deals done after waiting so long and wasting so much time on negotiating and haggling for price with Brian Umbremo. So I would tell you guys, I'm not guaranteeing a signing this week, but I'm telling you, you're going to get concrete news. You're going to get the advanced talks. You're going to get the full works. You're going to get deals. You're going to get the prices dropped on you. There's going to be on-steam bombers. There might even be a signing before the week is out, because Liverpool signed a striker. Arsenal signed a striker. Well, of course, we know Man City signed one 2 years ago. It's only right that Man United be the next one to sign a striker. And of course, if you want to take thunder out of your neighbors and the noisy ones in London, sign Sesko this week and sign Xavi Guerra. It will be an interesting thing to see if Man United do that. Of course, guys, the third kit drops pretty soon. We already launched on the tour, guys. The 25-man squad has been announced. And I just wanted to bring a notable mention to Ethan Williams, who is going on tour with the senior squad. And there are reports that Amarim favors the youngster highly. He likes the quality that he has to offer. It might be a situation where this youngster might be seeing some minutes as a left wing back or possibly a right wing back this season. He's a very, very diverse player. Frenchman. He's from France, guys. He plays for the France under 21 as well. We saw him last season under Ten Hag in preseason. He had some good moments. He is very quick, very good on the ball. He has a deft touch. Let's see if Amarim works with the youngster. The update on Lemons is that the price is somewhere between 25 to 30 million euros. The player wants to come. It's 15 million pounds bucks, basically, somewhere thereabouts, maybe plus five in add-ons, give or take. But the player wants to move. The club is open to the move, and Man United are very much interested in the signing. Now, the complicated situation is who leaves to make room for young Lemons? Will it be Bayende or will it be the one everyone wants to go, Andre Onana? Now, that's the interesting question. There are some interest in Andre Onana coming from Saudi, coming from Germany, and coming from Italy. Now, when I say Germany, guys, I know you're going to think Ten Hag, but it's not Ten Hag, guys. It's definitely not Ten Hag. Big up to Randon Lewis in the building. Hope you're well, broski. Yeah, I'm doing good. And it's interesting, guys, because, I would say we should be moving on Andre Onana with haste, but it's not seemingly like he's wanting to go. He's trying his best to stay. He also is injured in this current moment, so it makes it a bit difficult to do a deal to get him out the door. Now, will that push buying there to Fenerbahce? It might be an interesting look. Let's see how the week goes. But what I can tell you, there are going to be 2 more outfield signings and possibly Lamens as goalkeeper. So three are possible signings on offer for Man United left in this transfer window. Of course, we're going to need some sales, but with Rashford out the door, 400k means that we can afford the salary cap. We can afford to sign Sesko. We can afford to sign Xavi Guerra. We could afford to sign young Lamens and sell to make up funds for what we have spent. So it will be interesting. Of course, we know Manchester United has already spent 178 million in this transfer window. Well, basically, it's the reported fee, total fee for both players that we have already signed. But as you know, we are on layaway payments. We are using Klarna. So we only spent 40 million, 42 million so far, realistically. That's the interesting thing. Big up to Red Devil United in the building and big up to my boy Araya Daniela. What's good? What's good, broski? It's an interesting one, guys. But I like Lamens and Guerra as well, Frankie. And I know you would have been liking the sound of those two guys because we know Guerra has got that aggressive style to his play. He's also very, very skillful as well. So he's not that one-dimensional, just aggressive DM. You know what I mean? It's something that interesting that he will be able to contribute going forward as well. Keep your eyes out on Xavi Guerra, guys, because this deal sounds like it will happen. The price is very, very good. 25 million euros is a steal of a deal for this youngster. That's literally about 19 million pounds, and that's total package. Total package, guys. Quick deals, yeah? So let's see if Man United really makes the move. All the reports are saying that Man United is willing to go in for two more top players. And that's the only thing I can see on the headline coming in. Sesko and Javi Guerra. Of course, we have been linked to Ollie Watkins, but Man United is not going to spend 70 million pounds on Ollie Watkins, guys. I can tell you for free, and I can tell you now. The only way that happens is if Alejandro Garnacho goes to Aston Villa and Ollie Watkins come on an equivocal swap deal. You understand? That's the weird part of this situation right now. It's going to be a weird one. Yeah, Frankie. I saw him in the under 20, in the Euro under 20s, and I saw him a little bit last season. I only watched like about 7 games, and I think he's very interesting. I think he's very dynamic. I think he offers something slightly different than what Ugarte offers, but I think it complements our team and what we're trying to do. You can have him, you can have Ugarte, you could even probably play them together. And that's what makes this signing very, very interesting to me, guys. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you feel. I know a lot of you love Adam Morton. I like him too. But 18 million pounds, it's not, I don't think it's a price United are ready to negotiate for in this current moment. Mark, not football, but what? 1 second. Let's see what Luana say. But I got rocked yesterday by Malcolm Jamal Warner dying. I grew up watching that family. It shook my psyche. Yo, that's Steve Urkel? Is that Steve Urkel? Or was that the guy? Is that the guy from the other guy from Family Matters? Because it sounds like it's one of those two guys. Sancho 15 million, Rashford wages, Anthony 13 million, Ganacho 50 will be more than enough to bring in Sesko, Guerra, and Lamens. Well, Guerra and Lamens both together will cost United somewhere around 30 to 32 million pounds. So it's not an expensive deal to bring in those two players. And I will say this again. Guerra and Lamens will only cost United initially around 30 to 32 million pounds because Guerra is something like 25 million euros and they are willing to accept add-ons. And for the goalkeeper, Lamens, it's possibly 20 million euros, which is it's not that expensive at all, guys. Oh, that's the other guy from the Cosby show. Yeah, I know that guy too, with the cool haircut. It is what it is, guys. You know what I mean? They get old. Sesko payment structure, says Red Devil, is decent. Also, no comp now Arsenal at Gyokeres. Well, I mean, it's one of those things. I didn't really think we had much competition. I just think there was a situation with Gyokeres that we the fans don't understand. Maybe he did not like the fact that, publicly Man United make Liam Delap their priority target. We know Amarim did not like that as well. There was a bit of an issue there because he did not really want to sign Delap. He was a firm no to the player. But we also know that the new DOF was very interested in bringing, one of a young talent he scouted to the Man City Academy to Manchester United. So it's one of those things, guys, where I have to say that it's a difficult one. But I really don't think if we really want a player, I don't think Arsenal poses that much of a threat. I think the biggest issue was that Gyökeres probably made his decision when he found out we made Delap our priority, and that was that. You know what I mean, guys? So it's one of those things. Maybe it's a good decision for him, and maybe it's an even better decision that he made for us. Because, in my honest opinion, guys, while Gyökeres would fit into our system because Amarim knows the guy and he is a big goal scorer coming out from Portugal, I somehow feel that Benjamin Sesko suits the players that we have in our system much better. I think with the likes of Bruno and Umbremo, I think that youngster Sesko is going to thrive. He's very quick, very good with his feet. He's got some good moves like a dancer, and he's got a lethal striking ability. Yeah, his striking ability is probably on par with Haaland, guys. Trust me. Yeah, last season he was third choice striker at Leipzig, and by January he benched Openda and the other striker, and he was the starter. So he didn't even start the season as the main man, but he ended the season at Leipzig as the main guy. This is a youngster who's willing to fight. He's got a monster mentality. He's quick. He reads the game very well. He could link up very well as well. And he loves to play the 1-2. And who do you know loves to play 1-2s? Brazilians, Portuguese, Bruno, Cunha. These guys, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. And we have to start thinking, how does the players that we want to buy, not just that they are talented or amazing, but how do they work with what we have? Will what we have bring the best out of them? These are some things we need to look. Yes, that's true, Anraya Daniela. We've had a verbal agreement with Javi Guerra since the beginning of July, and I didn't mention it because I know you was going to put it in the chat. Big up, homie. You know what I mean? But I read that, I know that about that, and I was thinking that maybe this is why we have not signed a midfielder after getting the tens yet. Maybe this is why we spend so much on the tens, because we always knew that the midfield DM that we are going to sign is going to be a low budget deal. Yeah. And he is an interesting signing. Probably composed. He probably watched us play Spurs and was like, fuck that. I'm not going there. Run that shit. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? Guerra is very cold. Guerra is very cold. Yeah, Theo, always with the fresh haircuts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how we go. R.I.P. Malcolm. With the current new incoming of Cunha and Bremo and expected incomings of Lamens, Guerra, Sesko, how are we going to set up for the new season? Well, Frankie, we're playing that 3-4-1-2, that 3-4-2-1 formation that Amarim loves. And I think it's gonna be interesting to see where the players set up. I've been thinking about it myself, but if we get Sesko, he starts. And if we and Umbremo and Cunha are probably gonna start in the tens. Bruno is probably gonna play right behind them. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that works, guys. I don't think Ahmad starts. It's not confirmed yet, Brandon Lewis. It's not confirmed, but we are in talks. Vavel is in Germany right now, having talks, trying to see where the solution lies in this deal. Of course, you know, Man United may not want to spend 80 million euros directly for the player, but definitely it will be a situation that United is interested in signing the player. They don't think the fee is too much, else Vivell would not be there right now. And I can tell you right now, United are prepared to secure the signing of two top players before the end of this window. We already know that we have a verbal agreement with Javi Guerra. Now it's only to secure agreement on personal terms with Benjamin Sesko. And once that is done, guys, I believe that this move would be pushed through very, very quickly. We already tried to hijack the Victor Gyokeres deal, which means we were going to spend 75 million to sign Victor Gyokeres. And if we're going to spend 75 million pounds to sign Gyokeres, we could spend that same money on Benjamin Sesko, guys. So don't stress. Don't stress. I think Amari would get some game time. Will get a lot of game time. Of course, I think he's gonna start some games, but with the likes of Umbremo coming in, I think he's gonna come off the bench. That's just my honest opinion in that right 10, in my honest opinion. Big up to well, Malitek disappeared, bro. Where'd he go? I prefer Ahmad started at right wing back over Dalo or Dorgu. Well, I mean, Dorgu is supposed to be starting at left wing back, to be honest. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be, in my honest opinion, and hopefully that's how it goes. So it's gonna be an interesting one to see what happens here, guys. These deals are set to be, occurring. Of course, we know there are lots of reports coming in and popping around, but hopefully Man United stays focused and gets these deals done. Yeah. Let's hear what my brother Bali Tech has to say. I'm gonna bring him into the building. Shout out to Bali Tech, guys. We get the screen changed. Boom. Yo, what's good? I know if he could hear me, bro. Bali, your mic muted, bro.
Yo, yo, big up to everyone in the chat. Let's talk football.
Yo, left wing back belongs to Leon. So Bali Tech, lots of reports coming out today, but hot off the press, United is, gearing up to make a 105 million euro deal. Well, spending flurry, or what, however you want to put it, on Benjamin Sesko and Javi Guerra. We already have a personal terms arrangement with Javi Guerra since the beginning of July. Now, I think Vivell is in Germany trying to get a personal terms agreement with Benjamin Sesko and his camp done, because I believe that, well, we are supposed to hijack the Gyokeres deal. I believe Man United has enough money to make that Sesko deal a reality and make it a reality very quickly. What are your thoughts, bro?
Um, I haven't really seen much on Javi Guerra, so I'm gonna have to do my research on his capabilities. I saw like a few clips of him, but it's not enough to. It's not enough for me to make an informed decision. But he looked decent. I don't think he looked by any stretch of the imagination world class, or he looked like some super technical footballer, but there's not a lot you can really tell by clips. Obviously, he's Spanish, so technique is just standard, but he didn't look like somebody that oozes technique, if that makes any sense.
Makes
So,
sense.
I mean, like I said, I haven't seen enough about him to make a proper informed decision, but the little I saw, I thought, okay, it's a decent player, somebody who can probably get into the box and cause disruption there when we send crosses into the box or from corners and things like that. He is a big lad. So yeah, that's all I've seen from him. But in regards to Sesko, um yeah, I mean if we go for Sesko, I'll be happy with it. Obviously he's 22, 23. He's somebody who knows how to find the back of the net. He's scored somewhat quite a few spectacular goals in his short career. And I believe he's not at his peak yet. So if this is the type of thing that he engages is in when he's young, imagine what he will engage in for Manchester United in his peak. Now, he's a big lad, he's quite tall, he's quick, he's got technique on him, he's got a good left foot on him, a good right foot on him, and he can breeze through on goal. And the type of through balls, hold on a second.
Big up to Bali Tech. Yeah, Box, I think I agree with you here on this. A young, solid signing like Guerra for cheap is somewhat sensible. Yeah. Next summer, go for Baliba or Wharton. Yeah, nah, no Bali Tech will like that statement to make because he's a big fan of Baliba as well. Big up to JP. What's up, broski? Yo, and Raya dropping a nugget here for the guys. Constantinos Lianos of The Sun reported that Man United are interested in Aga's young defender Dan Sinat. The 19-year-old left back has just been promoted from Anga's reserve team. Well, that's left to be seen if United makes a move. We know they're going for a lot of young talent in this for this new build that they're trying to make. The buy in bulk, and hopefully a few of them succeed to the first team, and who is also as good probably might be sold to bring in a return for the club from the new direction that the structure has been talking about over the last few. Sesko, Timu, Ricky Lambert. I think he a little bit. He might be better than Ricky Lambert, but it's left to be seen. I won't say from Timu, bro. The man from Slovenia, King. Can't be from Timu. But to be fair, Box, Sesko is a guy that, you see a lot of those times, Bruno like to put those balls over the top, you know what I mean? Or he looking for a man to sleep, to ping a pass into, running in behind defenders. Sesko is that guy. Sesko is that guy. I've seen many games where Sesko is the first to react to a ball over the top, beating the offside trap, playing in different, not only for his national team, but also for Leipzig as well. And he used to do it at Salzburg. It's something innate in him. Yeah, he's a very interesting player, of course. And as we know, he's very tall. He's 6'6" or 6'7" and quick and very good on the ball. Much different to what Peter Crouch was. Peter Crouch was a decent striker, but he wasn't really amazing on the ball. This guy is quick, got quick footwork. He could hit you a dribble on a tense on a dime. You know what I mean? Or should I say a pence? I mean, in the Caribbean, we say he stop you on a 10 cents, but you know what I mean? Let's call it a pence. So, it is what it is. Would anyone take Chris Wood if we can't get Sesko?
Stop
Possibly,
that. Stop that.
but nah, possibly, but if that's the
Stop that.
last
Yeah.
option, but nah.
No, not even the last option. Like I said, yeah, there comes a point, yeah, where if the club is gonna force feed you bullshit,
Better
then
be
you
good.
might as well save your money, go and move for another target in another area of the field, both of your midfield or defense or goalkeeper or whatever, and then following season revisit the striker again. If Chris Wood is all that's left, yeah, that's what I would say. Because do you know what? I don't want to buy him and then look to revisit striker next season because that's my
Exa-
fear. That we're gonna
Exactly.
sign someone bullshit and then we're gonna say we need a striker again.
And
Sometimes you gotta buy someone knowing that you've solved that situation once and for all. So
facts.
even if
Facts.
you gotta wait like a year or two for them to get to their peak or whatever, I'd rather do that rather than going to buy a brother that only came alive last season. Like people act like they weren't laughing at Chris Wood for years now. They've been laughing at him for years. He had a fantastic season last season. Yeah. But now that Nottingham Forest will most probably lose a few players here or there, are they still gonna be the team that they once was? And I'd rather go and get a better striker who's shown either he's young or he's shown a level of consistency if he's an older striker. I'd rather go and do that. So, and normally I care about guys who are doing it right now. And even though you could argue that he's doing it right now, I just look at the other names that are on offer, on show. We can't go from looking at Gyokeres, Osimhen, and all these other guys, and then going all the way down to Chris Wood. Like I refuse to believe that that is what is in store for us. So for me, I'd rather take a step back, look around the dance, see if there's any pretty girls there, and go and sign with them. Because I'm not taking no Chris Wood. That's like the sumo wrestler that you see at the end of the nightclub. And because brothers are on a
Oh,
desperation move, they're trying to take it home. Like for me,
oh.
I rather just keep my money in my pocket and wait a little bit and then get what I need to get.
Bring back White Horse, yes. Big up the GP building. You know what I mean? The striker market is limited, and guys, obviously, they all have different limitations. Barring Victor Gyokeres and Osimhen, all the other strikers have certain limitations, whether it is the young, still developing somewhat there, or, they only just had a breakout season this season. You know what I mean? So, but it's an interesting one because at the end of the day, like you say, Bali Tech, I is that kind of guy. I not gonna enforce a issue if it don't really have nothing I like. You know what I mean? If it don't have
Yeah.
nothing you like on your first, second, third choice, then on that, is the next day for me, and next year would be your next window. But at the same time, in a situation like this, it have Benjamin Sesko there. I would do my best to get him signed up. In my honest opinion, it's been too long, Man United haven't had a striker of that kind of proven ability. And let me be honest, like he was even more proven than Hoyland, and they still went on by Hoyland, which is weird. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, at that time, we are take apparently the Cesco people on his camp had say we are take too long to do the deal last summer, and that's why they decided to stay at Leipzig. But
If we had
you know,
signed Sesko at that time, wouldn't he have not cost more than Rasmus?
no, bro, it was 70 million euros for Cesco last summer. They want
No, I
10 more
mean
right now,
at the time when we signed Hoyland,
bro. We pay 70 million euros for Hoyland, you know.
I think it was 75, wasn't it? Or
Well, yeah. So
72.
then, either
72,
way you
sorry.
take it, we gonna sign Cesco. Yeah,
Okay,
I
fair
wanted
enough. If that
Cesco,
was the
bro. I was
going price,
fighting.
if that was the going price, fair enough. But ain't he round about that figure now, or is he not more?
Well, apparently they was trying to quote Arsenal 80 million euros. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
Man United are reportedly willing to go up to 65 million pounds. 65 million pounds is 80 million euros. Or
Okay.
of probably difference of 3 million euros, if you understand. So
Hmm.
I think where the price point is, Man United are in the ballpark. Also because Christopher Vivell is reported as being in Germany with talks ongoing, trying to figure out some solution, be it, a breakthrough in personal terms, breakthrough in a price for the club. I think United are focused on trying to get this deal done because guess what? We pushed, we pulled around for the whole summer. We lose out on some good striking targets that we could have signed earlier. If we was trying to hijack your Chris, why we didn't just do offer that deal before? You know? It's a
Hmm.
weird one. But what I could say is that, I know Man United have a personal arrangement with Javi Guerra. This has been reported many a time. From the beginning of July, we had personal terms done with the player. So it's just to initiate the price and a negotiation with the club. Man United have already
I find
told.
that one interesting because I heard they're trying to sign him on a new deal.
Yeah, they are trying to sign him on a new deal now, but Man United already have personal terms with the player, so he's delaying this new deal, and they're willing to offer Valencia 25 million euros. So right now, let's see what happens because in the next couple of days we could get advanced negotiations going on for Xavi Guerra because Man United are said to be ready to accelerate these deals to get them done, and then they will continue on with the rest of the summer with sales and exits. Of course, we know
What do you know about this kid?
Xavi Guerra.
Yeah.
Xavi Guerra is actually the talisman of the Spanish under 21 national team. He's
Okay.
also a very, very important player for Valencia. He had what, I think it was 11 or 12 goal contributions this season. I
Okay.
think was a few goals from corners and set pieces and one or two passes that got him a few assists. He's an interesting defensive midfielder. I would say he's a younger, I would say a better version, but I would just say he's a younger kind of Zubamendi. But I think he have
Okay.
a better passing range, in my honest opinion. So,
Okay. What about his like work rate and his tackling and these
well,
things?
he's very aggressive when it comes to that, bro. He doesn't mix matters when it comes to tackling, and he gets into all duels. He wins, I believe, is 71% of all his duels that he goes into. He wins, which is a very good number for his age group, in my honest opinion. I think for what it's worth, he's a player with a lot of potential as well. And to be fair, what is most interesting about him is how good he is with the ball at his feet. So
Okay. It's
those are
interesting
the
because I saw something that said his aerial duels are shit. So it's interesting you saying he's scoring headers.
well, he has scored a few headers, bro, even for Spain. That's the weird thing.
Okay.
So maybe defensively, he's not the best at headers. I think it's defensively, he's not that great in the air. But when it comes to offensively, he's get his head to that ball, bro.
Okay.
So that's a weird one. That's the weird one there with this player. But I mean, at 25 million euros, that's like between 15 to 6 to 17 million pounds. I can't see that being a big problem to spend that little bit of money. You know what I mean? It's not a huge risk deal. We need a player that offers something different. And of course, he coming from Spain, so the quality on the ball is basic. When I said it's just normal for them to have a certain level of quality on the ball and being able to read the game a certain way. So those things I think more important and will bring more value to our midfield right now. Because if you have a young player who can read the game well in that position with a lot of energy, yeah, it's a good situation.
So what are those the own so is it Lamens? So we
Lamens is
so
EGK
so
from
so we got Lamens on the roster almost. We've got this Javi Guerra and then we've got Sesko. So if we're able to sign these guys and the transfer window closes, considering that we've probably got rid of Ganacho and
well,
Anthony and everybody else, right?
hmm
Whether it's on loan or otherwise, yeah.
hmm
What would you rate this transfer window at?
with those three players coming in to close the window, I would give it a higher rating than last summer, to be honest. Because one, I rate Embuemo. We needed a striker, and I rate Sesko. And I think Cunha is a wild card signing in the sense that I might not have been so excited about him, but I think he could definitely exceed expectations. More likely to exceed expectations and flop, to be honest. From what I see in the game, more likely to exceed up to expectations and flop. And to be fair, Xavi Guerrero would just be interesting. So I would say I would get this window a 8 out of 10 or 7.5 out of 10 or something high. Because
Okay.
I feel like if we sign those three players, we covered four different important parts of the field, the pitch, and most importantly, we revamped the attack, which is what was desperately needed. So I would have to give them a high rating for this summer window. To be honest, I could be over the top, but yeah, that is what I would say.
Okay. That sounds pretty high.
Um, Well, for me, I think it's all about is. I mean, for me, the height is not just based on the name, but I think the quality of the player coming in and the position, the part of the pitch that we put it, the bringing them into play. And Cunha and Mbeumo going into attack along with Benjamin Sesko is like drastically improved, in my honest opinion. That's at least 30, 40 goals. That's more goals. That's more goals coming to the team than we scored last season.
Now, if we had signed Gyokeres, I would have given it at 8. But because we didn't sign him, we're a little bit lower in my estimation. To me, I think that's a blow because that is a striker that is tailor made to play in the Prem. So the fact that we didn't get him, somebody who scored the most goals in Europe in Europe's top 5 leagues,
No,
to
not in
me,
Europe top five league. Portugal is rated number 8.
yeah, I
He's
get
not.
that. But I'm saying in terms of numbers, he
Yeah, but
scored the
not.
most.
Yeah, well, more than the players in the top five leagues. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Gyokeres would have been tailor made to play Amarim's system. You know what I mean? Whether he's translate the goal scoring from Portugal to Premier League, I still think he at least coming to score at least 30 goals this season. You know, even if you divide 64 by 2, he will still score about 30. That's just me. But in that Arsenal team, I know. I don't think he will score 30 goals in the Arsenal team. But that's just
Yeah.
me. They don't play to a striker in Arsenal. Yeah. Arsenal too expansive. With there's more them Arsenal is play like how Man City used to play when they had that false nine. And
Mm.
Gyokeres is not a false nine. So
But he's a
it will
weapon.
be something to see. Huh?
He's a weapon.
He is a
Because
weapon, but
now, like before, when when they have situations where they can use him to isolate a centre back, that centre back's in trouble. Brother's got all types of pace, all types of strength, all
yeah,
types
but
of finishing
the Premier
ability in
League
and
centre
around the
backs
box.
have all types of pace and all types of strength too. It's not Portugal he playing in the season, you know, bro. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm not taking away anything from him. I'm not saying that they're gonna stop him, but yeah, like this is not Portugal. So I think yes, he will clearly be surprising to all the defenders. But we have good defenders in the Premier. To have one or two defenders in the Premier, I don't think he will beat them for pace.
Okay.
But when it comes to guile and being a seasoned striker that know what he's doing, yeah, that's the guy right now. That's the guy right now. I have to say that. But anyway, guys, was meant to be a short update. Big up to Bali Tech for coming in. Any last words, Bali Tech? Because I know you're upset about this Gyokeres signing. I'm not gonna talk
Um.
about etiquette, but to Liverpool, but yeah.
Okay. We lost out on a few strikers that we could have got, but the silver lining is if we land Sesko. If we don't land either Sesko, Mateta, or Watkins, then the window might turn shambolic, right? So that's where the window has to start going down to 6 if we don't get one of them brothers for me.
Bro,
Because right now I'm at 7. Yeah, it could have been at 8. Yeah, but now I'm at 7 because right now, as it stands, with the guys that you're saying now, I'm looking at a 7. It could go
mm,
down to a 6 if we get a striker that's
like a
dusty.
Moani, like
Yeah,
Moani, a dusty ass striker. That guy
yeah,
dusty, bro.
yeah. If we get him, it's going down to a 7.
Is going down to a 5, bro. Mm, I mean, I don't want
No, sorry,
Watkins,
not a
but
7,
even
not a 7, a 6. If we get him, it's going down to a 6.
if I don't want Watkins, but if we get Watkins, I might still get him a 7. But that guy, Kulo Muani, yeah, that guy, something wrong with him, bro. Every single club this man goes to tries to sell him the very next season. I don't understand this. This is the fourth club, you know, King. The fourth, you
Mm.
know. Not the first, not the second, not the third, the fourth, you know. I don't understand Man United fans still being interested or trying or hoping to sign this brother, bro. Something had to be wrong. When they go to 4 clubs and you're only there 1 season, the only other 2 clubs, the first 2 clubs he was at, he spent 2 seasons. After that, every club he go by, after 1 season, they want to sell him. He on the transfer list. He on the
I
transfer
mean,
list. Bro, something's
I know
spelling
why
wrong
they're
with this
trying to
fella,
sign
bro.
him. I mean, I know why they're trying to sign him or why they're looking at him. The reason why they're looking at him is because the guy can carry the ball. He can beat people. He can link the play. He can play like an auxiliary 10. He can play, he can run the channels. He's good on the ball. He can go past people. And that's why they would look at somebody like him. That's why they'll look at somebody like Delap. That's why they'll look at somebody like Osimhen. That's why they'll look at somebody like a Gyokeres. That's why they'll look at somebody like a Ekatike, because they all can do this job.
Yeah. The first two men, Gyokeres and Osimhen, I could understand. But the other three brothers, bro, well, Ekitike having our world class, our world beaten season this season, best season in the last 5 years for this kid. Yeah, because he
No,
was
I get
unable to
it, but
score
you're
goals
you're
before
mainly
that.
just predominantly talking
And
about the goal scoring, right? But I'm
bro,
talking
and
about the way
literally,
they play.
United need goals, bro. We don't need a
I
man who
know,
could
I
do.
know,
You see,
I
this is the
know,
thing,
I know.
and this
But
is
I'm just
why I don't like
highlighting
these
the
data
way.
men, these data heads that they're trying to follow and bring to United and let them run the show because data, bro, data is only perfect in a computer, king. Because
Yeah, I
football not
know.
played on
But
paper.
then, but then this is the thing, right? When Jim Radcliffe first came into United, he was a real big admirer on the way Brighton was being run. Now
Yeah,
he said, I think in his own words, that the way they run on a budget, the way they're able to find these people from wherever they find them from, and then sell them for like the amount of money that they end up selling them for, that was something that he liked.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, yeah, Man United is a different club. We're not Brighton. So we can't build a whole squad full of guys that cost 4 million and 1 million. Like we can get away with it here and there, but I don't think we can build a whole top level squad out of it. Because
But Brighton never
obviously,
built a top level squad.
yeah, but they did unearth some gems.
All the
Regardless,
gems that Brighton unearthed, and I just go and say this, bro, because I feel like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is just as big as a idiot as the shoe that is wearing work, bro. Because all the top players that they sell was offered to Man United, bro. And I could show you, I could bring a report where Ralph Ragnick was going to sign eight of them brothers, bro, for 60
well,
million.
well
Eight of them,
then,
all of
well
them.
then, more
And
fool Man United.
Belieber was offered to United, bro. And
Well
they
then,
say
more
no.
fool. Well then, more fool Man United, because right now I'm looking at this kid Belieber, and I want to just crash all the budget on him. I'm
Bro,
looking at him thinking, raw, like what, 85 million left. Let's spend it. Let's spend it. Let's bring him in, because I'm worried that come next season, when he's gonna be more available with like 2 years left on his deal, everybody is going to be circling. And if we ain't got Champions League, let's say we're in the Europa League, that puts us at a disadvantage. If we've got Champions League and we already performed good the previous season, okay, that's a plus. That's a plus. But is the club going to spend that type of cash on one player? So I just worry that we're not going to do what we're supposed to do if we now get into a race for a guy of that level in the Prem. Belieber would be an absolute dream signing for me. If we was to get this guy
you know,
along with another top level guy in the midfield, I'm gonna say, yep, that's the midfield sewn up for the next
maybe.
5 or 6 years.
Guys, maybe I should become a Man United. I don't know, boy. I don't know. I should be one of the people signing players for Man United because I don't know how stupid we are, bro. Because when you get offered players like Enzo Fernandez, Julian Alvarez, Josko Vardiol, you getting offered Baliba, Caicedo, all of these guys before they really do anything. How will you say no? Because we didn't have to pay no million for none of these guys, really, bro. We was getting them for small money, I don't tell all that, bro. We was going to sign about 10 man for 60 million. That is all. All the man asked for was 60 million. He was going to sign about 10 man. 10 man, bro. And you see, all that man was going to turn into beasts and they all turned into monsters. Luis Diaz and all was on that list. Yeah. Just check it. So when Sir Jim Ratcliffe come out and talk these foolishness about the Brighton model, and people come and tell me about, look at what Brighton doing. Brighton only doing these things because we are allowing it. We allow it because our scouts is who just find them. And the sub scouts who working for Brighton, who just work for we scouts. When we say nah, them go say, well, okay, we will send them somewhere. We go do money have to make. Big up the Cameron Sam Rooney building. So it will be interesting to see what Man United decides to do. But when it comes to Baliba and Watson next summer, because it ain't looking like it's gonna happen this summer. But what I can tell you all guys is stay tuned and keep an eye out for Xavi Guerra and of course Benjamin Sesko, because I think the clock is ticking. I think Man United is ready to get these deals done. The squad is already on preseason. Amarim is not really happy. He would have liked to have his striker on preseason. And of course, Man United need to get these deals done. We have some players to be moved on. Anthony, Sancho, Rashford is having an issue being registered, but he's already out the door. So it's interesting. Ganato still has to be sold as well. So let's see what happens when these deals get done. Hopefully by the end of this week and next week, these two players walk through the door and we'll be celebrating because the start of the new season is coming quick and fast. And guys, it's been a lovely one. Thank you to all of you joining. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Big up to Bali Tech as always. My brethren always here. Big up to Box, Compost, Smurf in the building. Big up to everyone, Karen Samaru as well. Big up to Ray Carl Brown. Meet with the bro. I still had to fix this thing. Remind me in the group chat in the morning to fix this thing, bro, because I trying to fix this thing. I need to figure out what's it. Yeah, Ivan Nielsen is decent, bro. He's a decent striker. But yeah, not too sure if that's the kind of player we should be going at right now. And we definitely need to be avoiding Martinez wholesale because, guys, trust me, I know people want someone who could, give the big gun and definitely be one of those players who could do shithousery and whatever. But go check Martinez stats, guys. In Europe, not just the Premier League. The man have the most mistakes that lead to goal in all of Europe in the last two seasons. Go and check him out, guys, because we will be starting the season with minus 21. Because he is going to give away 21 goals based on his average over the last two seasons. Big up Tanraya Daniela, guys. And yeah. Oh, my bad. Big up to Raycard Brown with the £10 super chat. Thank you for all your support, my brother. You know why we didn't sign them, man, because they thought we won't sell shirts. That's why the idiots all wanted big names, big name man for commercial reasons. Well, thank Joe Glazer. This is the dumbest part about the Glazers, guys, because they approach everything like American sports. I mean, in American sports, all the big names is sell the franchise. So they thought it would work the same way in Europe in football, but football is football, and it's not the NFL or basketball. Thanks to Luan for that super reminder. Big up to Sadiq Rahman as well. Guys, if you've missed it, please check the stream from the beginning. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for being here today. And guys, we will be back tomorrow with more information. Of course, you guys will be hearing it here first in most situations because we've got good journalism going on and some good research partners helping. So thanks to all of you who helped me and thanks to all of those who support. Big up to everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Your boy Marken and Bali Tech. We'll be back tomorrow with more updates and Manchester United transfer news. Big up to you guys, and I'll catch you guys later.